Hello, Gabriel.
You are watching me, the building director, directing myself. Today we are going to weld some steel 1 by 2. I'll show you how it's done.
You're doing great, man. You should keep it up.
Yes.
All right.
Check this out.
No. What day are we at right now?
Day 8.
Day 8.
I don't know.
It could be 14.
Day 12.
12 probably. Maybe 10?
It's going well.
It's going well. So we're at a bit of not a standstill. Gabriel is doing a bunch of crap he doesn't want to do right now.
I'm totally happy.
Oh no, he's happy to do. No. But we're doing little things that don't show massive result. Little things. Yeah.
Eat that frog.
That's right. We want to put the walls on. I want to put the walls on.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the walls on.
I think we need a foundation first.
Foundation necessary first. So what we're learning is foundations take longer than anticipated. Therefore, it's best to have multiple foundations on the go.
Correct.
Right? So they take a week, take 2 weeks, get the first one ready to rock. And then while you're doing the next one, we'll catch up on the build. So we've finished all the walls over here. And before we can put the walls up, we have to have the foundation in to be able to put the floor on. We're not going to put the deck on. We're going to get some like wood planks to walk around on the floor so that the welding doesn't drip fire upon our fancy deck, which is so fancy. It's over there. That big stack, that's $2,400 worth of deck material. It's used for the floor and the walls though, so it's roughly around $1,000 when you look at something on a Rad Pad. Like, oh, what is a wall? What do the walls cost? Oh, about $1,000. What are the windows on the wall? $1,000. And it's going really well. So foundation was going to be about $1,000, but it turned out that it's going to be around $2,300. So a little more expensive, but it is very elaborate. They have to carry these heavy ass things down there and then lift them on top of each other. So if you can see, let me give you a zoom in view. Boom, there they are with ropes carrying those big ass tubes down there. The tubes weigh a lot and they have to lift them up on top of each other. So it's 2 tubes for each hole, and there's 6 holes. So that's, is that right? I guess that's right, yeah. So there's 12 of those suckers and a whole bunch of rebar and concrete in there, and they carry it down 5 gallons at a time. But it's going well, and they've got another due. They said they'd be done today, but I think another day before we see the end of that. There's the floor ready to go. As soon as they have those pillars in place, we mount that floor. Then we get to do the walls, and the walls are the fun part. Then the ceiling, then the roof, then we paint. Then we call. Nope, then we do the flooring, and then we do the walls, and then we call the window guys, and then the electric guys, then the plumbing guys, and then we're out of there. We're done. Well, you can clearly see those pillars are getting filled with concrete now. Looks like 2 of them are completely full. Maybe the third one down there, I'm not sure if you can see. But no, yeah, coming along. So they've all got concrete halfway up, and 2 of them are full. As soon as they're all full, give it a day or 2 to dry, and we'll weld the plates on top. Once the plates are on top, then we can build the metal structure, which will hold the floor, which is sitting over there patiently waiting. As soon as that floor is welded into place, then we can go put all the cross beams in there and floor joists and really get rocking. But we're going to put a false floor on it first, so that we can stand and work, and then we're going to go and weld all the walls, the E-panels on. Once those are up, it's going to go fast. It's like you'll see a house right there, structure, in a couple days as soon as this foundation is done. And that's what we're learning. It takes a little longer to do a foundation, but I do think this foundation is way overkill. It's gigantically super strong, which is great for our first Rad Pad, but I think in the future we'll be able to pull off a downscaled version of these they're not even cinder blocks, they're like they're pillars. Normally in the States and Canada we'd use something called sauna tube. You put some rebar in there and fill it with cement. These are cement tubes that are stacked on top of each other, so it adds quite a bit more labor to get them into place, and quite a bit more expense too. They're like 25 bucks each, so each one of those pillars is 50 bucks, but really it takes like a day probably to set up 3 of them, so 2 days of labor of 3 guys at 60 bucks a day. It adds up pretty quick. So doing it another way, we're gonna find will really cut down in cost, and more importantly cut down in time that it takes to get these suckers set up, because a rad pad's only a couple of days worth of work from start to finish. So I would like to see the foundations be same speed or less. So Gabriel has extended a couple 6-meter pieces to 7-meter pieces, because that is the second roof, or the roof. It goes above the ceiling on the rad pad, which creates the shade, the drainage, and the airflow. So he's got those ready to go. And right now he's welding what we call the ladder. And he's doing the high ladder, and then down here on the ground, this is the low ladder. The low ladder sits on top of the ceiling of the rad pad, and it'll have little bars that go down on top of every E, those wall panels that'll line up nice and neat. And this is what the roof goes on top of. So this will sit one on one side, this is the low one, and then this is the high one over here. I think it's about 24 inches or so. That'll go on the other side, which will give us the slope for the roof, and then give us plenty of airflow and create the shade necessary to make sure that we don't need to waste a whole bunch of money on air conditioning. And we can just stick to the Rad Pad code, which is shade, airflow, drainage, and readily available materials. So, hitchhiking didn't work out. It's hot, really hot. This leaf helped, and Gabriel found that hat on the street. Somebody else's hat. Yeah. But it's better, it's way better than no hat. That's for sure. Like, this is a pretty good hat I got. It's rustic. It's large. Gives my back shade, that's what I like. 30 minutes, and we'll be there. Hitchhiking up the hill in front of Paradise Lodge is a little harder than other places, because there's nowhere really for the car to pull over, and they're usually coming in pretty hot. But I got this leaf thing, seems to make it better. I'm confident I'm gonna get a ride.